There we go.
Hello.
Working. Hello everyone, welcome to Anime Amigos. I'm once again wondering why the hell I'm still doing this. My name's Calvin Atkinson, I'm the Pokemon Punk, and I'll be answering questions on Mission Yozakura Family and Metaphor Re Fantasio.
I'm Risa Gundam Guru, and Cal will be hoping he can answer those questions on Metaphor and Mission Yozakura Family.
I'm Ren the JoJo Genius and I'll be doing my damnedest.
I'm Ed the Vanguard Vagrant. My questions are on Free Rent Beyond Journey's End and Resident Evil 4 Remake. And I've had a really bad headache for the last couple of days. I mean, in all fairness, that's the kind of thing that happens when you start streaming with Calvin. But yeah, I've had a headache. So I was on my way to get some of my ibuprofen, and then guess who I ran into? The Wizard. Again. He somehow keeps following me, and you know what? And he forced me. He forced me to buy yet another bloody thing from him. I've been fooled by him twice already. And like, one time it was his piss, another time it was his vomit. And so I have no idea what the hell this stuff could be. So I don't know. Let's give it a try. See how it. Oh my god! This is actually a potion.
What?
You promised me high quality piss, you dick. I want my refund.
At what point did you look at the colour of that and think that was piss?
You saw the last one.
He must be
His piss is red, his shit is green.
Yeah.
And we're all clean.
Hey.
He's
coated
5'2" and talks like a Terry Pratchett character.
I was going to say a kazoo, but because I heard rhyme, but okay, Ren, I should say
yes,
your questions are on Middle-earth, Shadow of War,
and
and
Hunter x Hunter. Hunter. I didn't state.
I call it Hunter x Hunter just to piss off the anime purists.
That's okay.
I call it Hunter Hunter because otherwise the episodes would also be pronounced the X's like let the X adventure X begin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I called the only correct name Hunter Cross Hunter.
So cool. So if you case you
He's
want,
a Tekken fan in case he didn't know it.
if you want to talk about, if you want to skip, basically we're gonna do the what anime we don't get the hype for.
Yeah.
After this. So, but we got to
check the description for time codes. Calvin can be asked to do them.
anyway. So Reese is the champion. What are we going with first? Anime questions.
Should we say what's up for grabs with this one?
Oh yeah. Well, basically, what's up for grabs is the belt as usual.
For first place.
And of course 2 wild cards for both the top 2, and we're also going to be having, and of course the winner will pick the order in which we're all going to pick our wild cards as well.
Yay!
So a lot on the line for how our anime of the year total is going to look.
Yeah.
So, what do you want us to start with? Reese, anime's subject or game subject?
Let's start with anime first.
Okay. And Elliot, do you want to go first?
If I must.
Keep going. So your questions on Free Ren. You have 10 questions on Free Ren, starting now. What does Fern say to Stark when she uses her X-ray spell on him?
Small.
Yeah, good. I'll give you that one. It's so small.
Yeah.
No, it's not. What was Himmel's gift to Free Ren?
A ring with a lotus on it.
Correct. Blue Lotus to be specific, but I'll give you that. What did Free Ren do to immobilize Himmel, which was later unsuccessful on Stein? On Stein. Correct. What caused an argument between Stark and Fern in the log cabin that Stein had to negotiate a bridge between the two, leading to the line in private, just date already in the same episode?
Fern had touched Stark with a cold hand, and Stark did the same, but she was scared because of how hard his grip on her shoulder was.
Correct. What does Stark say the cloud looks like in his birthday when he thinks no one is looking?
One said it looks like a woman with it boobs, another said it looks like a turd.
Correct. What does Einstein make for Stark for several birthdays that he didn't realise was a special gift?
Hamburg steak.
Correct. What is the name of the demon that Fern fights in episode 9?
Pass, don't know.
It's Lugna.
Ah,
What is the name of Lord Odin's son who Stark has to stand in for as a lookalike in episode 15?
I'm terrible with names. Pass, don't know.
It's
Sol?
Vert. What is the length of the first time skip in the first episode between when Himmel's party reunited to watch a meteor shower that happens on the anniversary of their victory?
50 years.
Correct. What episode does Haita die in?
3.
Wrong, 2.
And that is 7 out of 10.
Not bad, Elliot.
Oh. I'm surprised you didn't bring up any from the training arc, or from the first class major exam.
I have my methods. Ren, you're up now.
Okay, doke.
On Hunter x Hunter, your time start. You got 10 seconds. You start now.
Seconds.
No, yeah. How many
And you fail.
how many siblings does Kahlua have?
Oh, one sec. 3.
4.
Oh, fuck it, let me. Yeah, come. Okay, sorry, go on.
What? Okay, go wrong. No need to call me
I
a
knew
cunt.
that. No, yes.
What is the name of the video game that Gon's father instructed him to get? Correct. What is Kapika trying to get back from the Mafia in the York New City arc? Sorry?
Curtain front eyes.
I'll give you that. It's Scarlet Eyes I had written down, but I'll give you that one.
It's the yeah.
Yeah, I know. On what episode does the Hunter exam arc end on?
Oh, jeez Louise. Okay. 21.
Close, 26.
Shit, okay.
What is the name of the location where Gon and Hisoka had their first official fight? The tag task in the Hunter exam arc doesn't count.
Official fight.
Yeah, the first official fight. The Hunter exam arc thing doesn't count.
Heaven's Arena.
Correct.
Yeah.
In the fight, in that fight, the total score given to Hisoka for the win was he got a total of 9 points compared to what Gon got, which was a total of
4.
correct.
Yeah. Didn't think that was right.
Which of the main quartet does not appear in the first episode?
Killer.
Correct. What is the name of Gon's aunt who acts as a foster mother? I knew he wasn't going to remember.
No,
that one.
no. I just watched an episode of The Letter to Aunt. Wait.
He has the same issue as me. He's terrible with names.
Yeah.
Same. I'm pretty sure it's issue we all
I
have.
can't remember.
Mito.
Fuck's sake.
What's the name? What is Liorio's nickname in the Zodiacs?
In the Zodiacs?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. He's not in the Zodiacs. Don't know.
Boar. Gon's home island is named after what marine creature?
Whale.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
How many
that's
did you get?
6.
Oh, you're one off.
That was a weird one with Leorio.
6? I thought.
He is in the Zodiac. Yeah, it's a revelation.
I'm a scout. I thought we got 7.
Okay, so my one's up next, and I'm expected to do way worse
Yeah,
now.
I'm doing these ones because Ren was meant to do these but forgot.
No,
So
mine
I'm going to. I just found some questions online.
In all fairness, Ren has had a very difficult few weeks, so I don't blame him.
Yeah, so shall we? Are you ready?
Yep.
Alright, here we go. Here's this mission user code family. Here we go. Who is the most compatible Hazakura user?
Most compatible. Taya?
Akai.
I can't. Yeah.
What is the flower in the Tampopo logo based on?
Oh, it's a rose.
Dandelion.
No.
What was the one who kidnapped Mutsumi in the first arc?
Oh, I can't remember anyone actually kidnapping her in the first arc. That is definitely a manga specific one because it doesn't happen in the anime. Oh god, I can't remember. Pass.
Hanawa. What is the name of Sui's partner?
Sui. I don't remember who she is. Pass.
Oga. What is the name of the command to lock down the Yosakura mansion?
Pass.
Hibernation. Even I remember that one. Where did Tayo first confront Kawashita?
Political rally?
Kawashita Medical Office.
No.
What spy rank is Ayaka Kirisaki?
Gold.
Silver. What is the name of Kurayuri's daughter?
Pass.
Yuri. What is the name scheme of the Yozakura siblings based on?
The name scheme. That's a rubbish question, but Flowers?
Numbers.
Oh.
How many questions is that?
Well, he's on 0 so far, but I'm not been keeping count of total questions.
Okay, 1 sec. Sorry. 1, 2, 10. That's 10.
0 out of 10.
Sorry, Carl.
But those are all rubbish questions.
I would also like to add that the
In all-
Zodiac thing about Leorio happens in the manga after the anime.
I mean, in all fairness, I did remember the hibernation command.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to win now, so we might as well just continue with you two.
We might as well try. Come on.
There's no point in me doing my questions. I cannot win now.
Well, if you get a perfect 10 and these two get less than 2, you could still win.
I mean,
Yeah. Just do yours. Just do yours. I worked hard on those metaphor questions, okay?
Do you want to just put you on 5 because like?
Just do it for fun. Do it for fun.
At least do it.
Fine, but there's no point. Elliot, I designed at least one of these so that everyone could get at least one thing right.
Again, don't blame me. This is the one quiz I can find online.
Should have changed me anime. What is the colour of the coins you shoot in the area to earn a prize from the merchant?
Oh, the colour of the coin.
Yeah.
You mean the medallions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blue.
correct. Outside which location do you free the dog that helps you against the El Gigante fight in the remake specifically?
It's also mentioned, right?
That's not entirely correct, but
I don't know the name of the place. All I know is outside of a big house.
it's Village Chief Mendez's house.
Yeah.
I vote we give him that one.
Sure.
It's a civil chief's manor.
Yeah.
I'd say.
What colour is the pupil of Mendez's eye that you unlock the way out of the village? The pupil of the eye, I should say.
Red.
Correct.
Ugh.
What gun do you get in the village after barricading yourself in a house?
Shotgun.
Correct. How do Leon and Ashley escape the church in the remake?
They jump out a window.
Incorrect, that's the original. It's they go out the roof.
No, they jump out a window in the remake.
No.
At the church.
Yeah, no, in the church they go up the roof and out that way.
You mean where we find Ashley?
Yeah, we find Ashley. Then
No, they do jump out a window.
no, they jump out a window and the roof. They go out the roof and down that way.
They still jump out a window?
Doesn't count. You don't get that one.
Fuck you.
What do Plagas attach themselves to in the hunt for Ashley in the castle that are frozen by a blue flame?
What?
So the Plagas attach themselves to something in the castle that can only stop by a blue flame.
I do not remember that.
Knight's armor.
Oh, fuck yeah, those things.
Which area requires 3 flags to be raised in order to proceed?
What area?
Yeah.
That is a garden in the castle.
I don't. Can I give him that one?
I remember it's in the garden, and I remember it's in a castle where we fight Midget Napoleon.
Ren, do you reckon that's the answer?
No, it's quite.
No,
specific.
it's the hedge maze specifically.
Yeah.
It is a garden, but it's not.
It's not
amazing.
entirely
Yeah,
correct.
it's a hedge mage
Yeah,
in the garden.
That's fair.
What character joined you in the minecart section in the remake only?
Luis.
Correct. What is the source of the Las Plagas What is the revised source of Las Plagas in the remake that is revealed upon the first meeting with Salazar in the remake?
The source of the
Sadler, sorry.
Amber.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's an amber meteorite.
Yeah.
What is on the keychain to Age's jet ski?
Pass.
It's a teddy bear. So how many did you get?
You got 6.
Good one there.
Right.
Right.
So 13.
Yeah, 13 overall for Elliot.
Time for me to fail.
So you've got to get at least 7 to tie and
Yes.
8 to overtake.
And if Ren does really badly, you can. Shall we do Calvin next? Actually, see if he. How
No,
much Ren has to
let's
be?
do Ren.
Come
Anyway,
on. Okay.
who is the leader of the Nazgul?
Witch King.
I'll give you that, the Witch King of Agmar.
Yep.
What is the total number of regions in the game?
Ah, shit. God, give me a second. Saragost,
Fucking.
the actual Mount Doom one.
Yes, the nation of fucking.
I'm gonna say 4.
So there's 5.
Fuck! Bastard.
What is the southernmost region on the map?
Fucking. Oh my god, what the fuck's it called?
Benidorm.
Saragost?
No, it's Nernan.
Ah, okay.
What is the real world well-recognized national accent that does Troll Bull the Chopper have?
Real world
So it's like a
Yeah.
well-known national accent.
Trouble is it Bruce the Chopper?
Troll Bull's the Chopper.
Oh,
I think.
Troll Bruce the Chopper. He's
Troll
Australian.
Correct.
Hey.
How many Ichthyian doors are there?
Oh shit. Well, there would be
Again, forgive my
five.
pronunciation.
There would be 5.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sergos has the most Gondorian artifacts. How many are there?
Oh, mate. I know Ripley. I don't know why. I'm going to say 9.
Incorrect, it's 12.
Yeah. Okay.
Gorgoroth has the least amount of Gondorian artifacts. How many are there?
7.
9.
Fuck.
Shelob is the queen of which race?
Spiders.
Correct. What title is given to the orcs that command of Region's fortress?
Wait a second.
Come here.
I'm going to say Warlord.
Overlord.
Fuck!
Oh.
Zog the Eternal is a practitioner of which position
Ne-
slash job?
Oh, Necromancy.
Correct.
Yeah. So that was definitely not.
A grand total of 5.
So you're not enough to overtake Elliot.
Can we do the metaphor once just for
Yes.
fun?
Go on.
Yeah,
All right.
so Ren got 11 overall.
Oh.
You were so you are going to get 2 ones though,
Oh, true. Yeah, true. For once.
because I'm not. Because even if I get all 10, I'm not going to be able to overtake
The title's
it.
just forever going to go between you two, I think.
Let's be honest, yeah.
Possibly.
Because we tend to do our homework.
Yeah.
Well, I tend to do my homework. He just has a freaky memory.
Well, so when it comes to names like you guys.
And I think I have a freaky memory, but I don't.
You do have a freaky memory, but it's temperamental.
It's very you have a freaky memory for anime OPs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like you can't always access. Anyway, so
I'm going to prove that after we're done recording.
Anyway,
as a pick me up.
Yeah.
metaphor refantasy.
I'll do them anyway.
Do you want me to do them, Ali, or you don't want to?
I send them to you on Twitter. I don't have Twitter on anymore, and I can make them all on my laptop.
Okay, I'll get back up.
Oh, good thing I'm drunk.
I'll keep score. Or do you want to keep score?
Well, it doesn't matter because I get all 10. I'm still coming third.
If you get all 10,
I'll keep.
If I get all,
Okay.
I guess just for fun.
So again, I've not played this game, so my pronunciations will be bad.
what do you say? Hang on, what do you say? If I
Do
get
you
all
want
10,
me
what
to read
happens?
them
I
then,
was
so I
going
can
to
get
say, I
pronunciations
think
right?
you and me should
Yeah,
do
you
a
can do.
tiebreak.
Okay.
All right, fine. We'll do
I'm
it.
doing
All
that.
right, fine. I agree to that. If I can get all 10, I'll do a tiebreaker with you.
Yeah. Deal.
Sure.
Cool.
And that means Elliot wins either way, but we can have a tiebreaker.
Okay. Here we go. What tribe is the protagonist a part of?
All 10, Cal. All
Come on,
10.
Cal.
Yeah, it's.
Like what race is he?
Oh god, I'm trying to remember the name off the top of my head. No, I'm not going to get it. The one I'm getting in my head is Newman or
That's from Lord of the Rings.
no. It's something like. It is the only one he actually is. I can never remember off the top of my head what it is.
It's the Visa.
Numa, numa, yay.
Numa, numa, yay. Numa, 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 yay.
Oh, so,
And copyright strike.
well, that was weird. Hume,
Elder.
Elder. That's it.
What is a defining feature of the Mustari tribe?
They got third eye.
Correct.
Hey.
During which event does Grievous plan to assassinate Luis?
The concert.
King's funeral.
Oh yeah, that was the first attempt at him.
Why was Joanna kidnapping citizens of a village?
Who was the kidnapping?
Joanna, the head of the second area.
Feed to a giant human baby thing.
I'll give you that. To feed to a human she saw as a child.
Yeah.
What was the name of the spear Luis orders the party to hunt down?
I can't remember the name of it now off the top of my head. It was it's the one in that tribe with the third eyes. Now pass.
Dracodios.
All right.
To unlock the Royal Thief archetype, you need a rank 20 ninja, a rank 15 tycoon, and a rank 15 what?
It is something like a bandit or oh god.
I'll let you off with I'll make it fairer. You just start saying what the archetype line is. Like what it starts off with.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what it's Heisenberg's archetype. No, but I can't remember what his archetype is called. No, because he does the ninja one. He does actually go assassin to the.
Yeah, Heisenberg is thief.
Yeah, so I think it's thief.
It's dragoon.
All right.
Who is he? Who was a person that casted the curse on the prince?
Technically, kind of a spoiler, but
We're going into spoilers with this
Yeah.
one. Don't think it really matters.
it's Juna's sister, but I can't remember what her name is.
I will give you that. I'll give you Juna's sister, Rella. What was the dream of Fidelio and Basilio before joining Luis?
A world without prejudice.
Opening a diner.
Oh yes.
That's why they joined Luis. The original dream they had.
Oh yeah, I forgot they had much thought about doing that.
Which follower's social link ends with their execution?
Oh.
I will also accept the archetype name.
It's it's the guy you meet, the con artist you meet with the weird hat.
Oh yes, the weird hat archetype.
I'm trying to remember what his archetype was called. Because I never used it. I remember I did his whole thing and yet I never used it.
I use it quite a lot actually.
Pass.
Alonso Crotalis, or the Faker archetype.
Oh yeah, the fakers. Yeah, I barely used the faker.
I use quite a bit. On what day does a party have their final confrontation with Luis?
A Friday.
Waters Day. And it is the day of the hero.
Is that also a Friday?
So
No, that's Wednesday
I
equivalent.
think that was 3 or 4.
Even if we doubled that, I would have gone below Ren.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he got the third arrow, I remember that. Yeah, feeding to the child one. So he said sister.
He got
So that's
sister, and got 3.
3.
Oh god, I am useless today.
A grand total of 3 out of 20.
So Elliot wins again.
Yeah.
And you get 2 wild cards this year.
Yeah, I got something. Finally, I won one.
I was not confident at all with Resident Evil. I actually did better than I thought I would.
Yeah, you got 6 right.
I will say you did way better on Middle Earth than I was expecting.
I'm surprised,
Elliot,
yeah.
that's all yours.
I'm gutted to have missed the Killer's brothers, sorry, siblings, because fucking.
Yeah, I remember the siblings one.
I know.
forgot
Well,
why.
it's because it comes up later as well. Like they explore some of the ones that you don't properly meet, but then like you do meet anyway.
Oh right, wait So you only see some of Killua's siblings
Well, one of them
when you
is
try and
sort
get them
of
back.
in the back of a photo, but becomes important later. The one about the ball thing does happen after the anime ends, but like it does actually happen, and I could have implied.
The problem was I was looking on wiki pages.
Yeah,
for,
it's fine. It's fine. But yes.
Anyway, so let's talk about.
I love your necklace, Elliot. Is that new?
Yeah.
I like what.
It also works as a hat.
Oh,
Hey.
marvelous! I've never seen that Ninja Village before. I like your headband.
So let's talk.
It's called the.
It's the Village of the Rock.
It's a hidden autism village.
Is it?
It's that to quote a line from Cody Rhodes. Hey Rock, go fuck yourself. Incidentally, you have a lot of time to get back into wrestling.
Yeah, you were saying that this
Yeah.
has been like a major
Yeah.
moment for a lot of people.
Wow, wrestling got real again. So let's talk about the main subject for today, which is anime we didn't get the hype for.
Yeah, another one I suggested. I'm on a roll with these ones.
Hey.
So let's say, I think we should make a disclaimer from the outset. If we say we don't get the hype for it, it doesn't mean it's a bad show. It means
we're just not as enamored as the general population is.
Yeah.
So, before we go into a more general topic, I want to start with a few examples of like a bunch of one that we can think of off the top of our head of a show that we think we didn't get the hype for.
Mushoku Tensei.
I was going to say exactly what I was thinking.
No,
So-
that's what it's one for all of us.
Yeah.
That was all for 4 of us, but I think Ren
I'm-
should take that one specifically for his main example.
Oh well, I mean,
'Cause-
because you guys quite like this.
Yeah.
Don't you?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Good.
I like everything about it except for Rudy. Rudy's the thing that really
oh,
brings the show down for me.
Oh, sorry, I thought you.
Yeah, we'll go into that when we go into the because
Oh, do
everyone.
you want me to talk Mushoku Tensei? Sorry.
No.
John Street.
Oh wait, that was your
No,
pick.
is that
No,
is it-
no, it's not my pick. My pick's. I was telling you before. Oshinoko.
Oshinoko is your
Yeah.
pick.
Oh, you didn't tell me that before.
Which
Oh,
one
sorry,
was
I
your
thought
Which one was your one?
Chainsaw Man was mine.
Chainsaw Man.
I'm gonna save mine for when I talk about it
Chain-
because it's a fun one.
I'm also going to say mine because I want people to kind of guess what I'm referring to when I say because it's a,
Machine.
I want to stress now the two that I'm not going to do because I've got a ceasefire with the fans of both of them is but
I know this.
but I will briefly touch on it is Inuyasha
Oh yeah.
and especially now that I will say I do get the hype for Ranma after watching that one.
But I'm not half as good.
Initially, you weren't big on it, were you?
I wasn't sure if I was going to be big.
You were more iffy on the author's work.
Yeah, I was more iffy on the
Yeah,
author's
yeah.
work because I really didn't like anything else she's done, but I do actually like Ranma,
And it's not getting a season 2.
and I found it.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not getting.
It is.
I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Now, I want to stress now, Mushoku Tensei was the first one we brought up, and Alex Brian's right. It's like I can't get over Rudius. He's such an
Yeah.
awful protagonist, and
Which sucks because everything else I really like.
And I know
Great
that's-
world building, fun characters,
Yeah.
amazing animation.
It just drags it all down.
Yeah.
In theory, this could be one of the greatest isekai, but for us, but it doesn't quite work in my opinion. I also think it's not just Rudius. The whole world's full of kind of terrible people,
Yeah.
and I feel like you need a couple of terrible people.
The
in this
thing,
show,
the
but
thing
not-
is, I go on Reddit. A lot of people do acknowledge how terrible of a main protagonist Rudius is. I particularly remember one tweet with the elf girl, as sort of the tag, saying, "I'm not in a polyamory relationship. My husband just likes cheating on me a lot."
Yeah.
Which, I will stress though, I don't. The thing for me is though, Rudius is so bad at the beginning that any sort of redemption he could get
Yep.
is outweighed. That's the thing
yeah.
for me. That's the reason why I don't get the hype on it. I don't get why everyone doesn't say no. Rudius is irredeemable.
Well, yeah, because they're rewarding, if anything, like his behaviours, like that, because they're saying, oh, he deserves redemption, even though he continues to hold the same views and do the same things.
Well, yeah, which he does change a little bit throughout the show, but not
Not much.
that much.
Yeah, it's not like a Zuko level redemption.
Yeah, no, like it's for example, like the whole, and also it does a bunch of things where like I really don't want to see this.
No,
Like the whole first part of the second season, because I am aware of what the plot points were. I never hate out of ignorance. I hate out of knowledge. Is it a segment about erectile dysfunction? I'm like, I don't really need to see this.
I mean, the thing is, the thing that would have kept me going back would be that it's not often you see an fantasy anime with that good animation.
No, exactly.
But now we have Free Ren, so that's now my outlet for amazing fantasy animation.
I would also make the argument, and I'm going to really get a lot of shit for this. I think I prefer the animation in Shield Hero and ReZero. I think they.
Yeah.
I just think I don't. Do you know what it is about Mushoku Tensei? I don't like the washed out colours.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I feel like anime is made for bright primary colours, and I feel
Yeah.
like you have to do a very specific kind of anime if you want to do those sort of. I mean, it matches the theme on several regards, but there's also there's some points where I'm like, wow, I can even though I know ReZero and Shield Hero do this all the time, I can really see where they cheated some of the animation.
I think it also depends on the theme of the series. Which is why the color tones come in. Like, for example, you would not expect bright colors in something like a Berserk anime. For
No, but
example.
I'm saying that's
meanwhile,
why.
Meanwhile, Mushoku Tensei does probably need that brighter colors.
But here's the thing. Okay. So we did Mushoku Tensei. Another
Attack
one.
on Titan is another.
Attack on Titan's
Yeah.
another one in general.
More specifically, the final season.
Yeah.
It's not just the
Well, the final season is about 3 seasons long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit for that on Twitter
Yeah.
when I did a tweet about that saying how can you, because they announced it was called Part 3 Part 1. I said okay, and I made a tweet basically saying this is ridiculous. You can't have a Part 3 Part 1. I said oh but yeah, don't call it the final season until it's actually the final season.
Yeah, they
And I
got more. The final season got more seasons than your actual non-final seasons.
And I'm going to point out, I got told afterwards that I was being, I was pro getting animators into bad working conditions for saying that. It's like, no, I'm fine if they want to take a break, but they've got to label it properly.
Yeah.
Rather than, it reminds me of like the Fast and Furious films. Of they just no, it's
Don't care.
They don't. No, it's actually no. Better, no, Fast and Furious actually have more respect for because at least they've made a fuck ton of these movies.
Like, yeah, like, if they labelled it like the ending or like the final arc or something, and then you could set that into parts. I think
Yeah.
that's fine. But season part, like the final season,
That's a very
it's not-
definitive name.
I mean, like even cores are a known thing in anime.
I actually heard kind of a fun story about Fast and the Furious franchise. Do you know how a lot of the times the sequels don't really have numbers at the end of them?
Yep.
Apparently that's because before that series came out, there was another film called Fast and the Furious, and that was going to have originally going to have a different name. So, but it's still that name, and that's the director can we take that and use it for our thing? And they went, yeah, but if you're gonna do sequels, don't put numbers in them because I might want to make a sequel myself. So it's just like,
Well, which immediately broke because the sequel was Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
That's 2 numbers in the title.
It sounds similar to Magic the Gathering was originally meant to have magic, and then it would be like another.
But it's
thing.
not. It's not copyrightable though, was it?
It was that they would be changing the card back every time, so you'd know what you're picking.
And kind of like how Final Fantasy was originally going to be called Fighting Fantasy.
Yeah.
But yet there's like a series of adventure books that have the same name, so they had to change it.
I bought one. Sorry, just as a total aside, I bought one of them the other day, and I used to play them loads as kids, and I never fucking completed any of them. I still fucking can't complete them as an adult.
Oh my god!
Fuck you!
I have 2 of them. I consistently try playing the second one. I die so quickly.
It's so hard.
It's so difficult.
It's so hard.
What the fuck?
And I can't be asked keeping notes because it takes so long. Fuck you. Make games easier for me.
So okay, this is
anyway.
me in a nutshell.
Yeah, I was about to say Calvin rant from Renfrew once.
Just channeling you.
So to go back to Attack on Titan for a second.
Yeah.
How much do we think our now knowledge of the author's politics plays a part in our lack of hype for it, or do you think we got that before we learnt all that shit?
Explain.
The author's got very far-right politics, which is very visible in the text when you really look at it.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice the politics he was spouting. I'm very bad at noticing stuff like that. I just thought it was not the same story.
If you think about it, though, it has got some quite right-wing philosophy when you really look at Attack on Titan's story. Like it's very much pro-military above everything else. Not much exception.
It's also one pro-ethno-state trying to take over democracy with Eren's group.
Yeah,
and then taking over the rest of the world with the world governments.
Yeah. Which, if you really think about it like that, then look, we can get into that. But I feel like we were losing the hype for that thing before that all came out.
I lost the hype for season 2 because we waited 4 years.
That was another factor.
I was with you with season 2, but then season 3 came out. And that was a fucking banger season. That was the peak of the series, and the hype was back for me. Then season 4 came out. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I think also my hype for fucking Attack on Titan died around when the manga when it kind of zoomed out and it was like, well, there's this whole other nation and like this is the history of the background.
No,
and I was just like, what is happening?
No, you've overcomplicated and turned into basic zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind learning where the Titans came from. What I did mind though was that it going from we have to defeat all the Titans and now we have to defeat this other nation that can turn into Titans with people who can turn into Titans.
It was so confusing.
Yeah. And not to mention, they kind of ruined Darren for me.
Yeah.
He was not the same character.
Yeah, let's face it.
And at the same point, it's not just one nation. It's a whole united governments of different nations together. So it's basically Eren fighting the UN.
So what I found interesting, I found interesting though is as well, I kind of thought people really try to excuse Eren as being a real shitbag protagonist. Like, pretty much from the point we get to past season 3 onwards, he's a total wanker.
He's a completely different character, as I said.
I
think they just flipped the switch. So I think that's more we don't get the hype still. I think we get the hype was there at the time. We kind of get why it had the hype at the time. The OP probably did help out majorly.
Yeah.
Especially the first season's OP. Like that's still probably one of the most quoted OPs of all time.
I say my favourite is the OP to season 2 personally.
I know, but we're talking now about how the hype got about. So let's be honest.
Definitely.
I don't think that's would they have called them back if these first 2 OPs hadn't been as quotable and recognisable as they had been. Like, how many people still go Jaeger at the moment that it happens on?
No, I'm more think of the misunderstood lyrics thing where it starts off with having the sex with the bees and the eagles.
I'm now gonna. I hear that now every time. It's annoying. So let's. I feel,
are there any other universal ones for us?
For all 4 of us, I feel like all 4 because there was last year. But it's weird because last year all the hype anime we all agree with the hype. Like we all agree with Kaiju number 8. We all agree with Dungeon Meshi. We all agreed with
Dandadan.
I think there's.
Reese didn't agree with Bakane.
But that didn't get the same level of hype going into it.
Yeah.
And an online viewer base has also been more split.
I also
I get credit to Ali Glazing them all saying, no, everyone loved it. It was universal.
No, I don't think it was massively. I can understand why people hated it. The reason was because I kept looking at anime polls while it was out, and even afterwards, it was getting hyped up to hell. Like on Anime Corner's top 10 of the year, it was number 3.
Oh god. Let's. And I liked it, and I think that's too high.
Yeah. It was a very loud vocal minority.
So let's. No, I think there's one where the hype.
Big surprise, Dun 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 ended up winning.
How many of these were sequels? Because I bet you there's a whole bunch of them we can think of where it was a sequel to a show.
Mine's not.
That we don't get that we didn't really like, but that we didn't get the hype for it.
Mine I should have enjoyed because it was written by so it's written by the author of
Kaguya-sama.
yeah. So like.
But we're going to go to our
it's
specific
not-
examples in a bit.
Yeah,
but
not a sequel.
I'll tell you one I really though. I'm trying to think of something. The one that had a lot of hype for. The problem is, I'm trying to think of ones where people are still hyped on it, because was a lot of hype, for example, going into the sequel for Eureka 7, because we hadn't had one for like nearly 10 years, and now we were finally going to get one. But at the time, everyone was saying this isn't very good.
How much hype do we get for all the Evangelion movies?
I haven't seen any.
There's a lot of hype in Japan for it.
Oh yeah, I will say that's one I really don't get the hype for, Evangelion.
Well, I was going to say you guys could all.
But I think we're split on that one, because I think you like it. I don't really like it, but I actually like the movies, weirdly.
I haven't seen it.
The rebuild films are better.
The rebuild films are the best versions of that story.
Certainly, Trigun remake. You guys didn't see the hype for compared to the original.
But that
I thought both are on par with one another.
More specifically, you guys.
yeah, us too.
Yeah, I like the reboot, but it didn't reach the same level as the original.
Yeah, that's the thing. But did people really get as hyped for that?
I don't
majorly
know.
hyped for that one? Like,
That
when people are going to think of shows that really have a massive hype and we don't get it.
Well, I don't understand how people have this hype. Fucking Boruto, man. How the hell are people on that show
People
still enjoying it?
people
do.
Is it
Everywhere I look, people are just calling it shit.
It looks shit.
Oh, I've got one.
It's all filler.
It looks
Like,
Literally, all of it is filler.
I've got one, and this is another example of this show's fine, but it's nowhere near as good as everyone's saying it is. Black Clover.
Yeah.
Well, I'll disagree because I did enjoy my time watching it.
You know what? I a while ago I got like 20 volumes into the manga. It's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's legit really good.
Okay, fine.
I never got the hype for Fairy Tail until started watching the most recent thing.
Yeah.
Because I think when I was a kid, I was like, oh, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z, like fucking, the best of the best. And then I was like, it's just not as good, so I didn't get into it. But
one that I'm the only one who didn't enjoy when we talked about it was Arena the Vampire Cosmonaut.
Yeah, but
I wasn't big on that.
Yeah, but there wasn't a huge hype going into this.
I'm more referring to Out of Us.
Yeah, so there's a real hype for it.
I didn't like Call of the Night when most of you guys did. I ended up.
I will say I've read the end of the manga of that one, and that put me off it a bit.
Really?
Yeah, because
the manga's got a terrible ending.
Yeah, because I also wasn't that hyped on it either during that season.
Oh, I loved it.
Actually,
in all fairness though, it's vampires, and I'm a vampire fanatic.
Also, rather funnily, both your show and the ones in the last couple of examples you've done are both shows on High Dive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So redo of a healer.
I'll tell you.
Plus sides up. Let's go.
I'll tell you one that I would.
That does deserve the hype.
One I would have not got the hype for if I hadn't watched the later seasons for it. Danmachi, yeah.
In all fairness, I like Danmachi from the first season.
Yeah, same.
Season two, I really like. Third season, fucking hell, it was so good.
Yeah, because it was just that season. We were just hyping it up
Yeah,
so
we were
much.
just
Number one Danmachi season 3.
Again, Danmachi.
And season 5 has finally got its final episode, so
Yeah.
holy shit, it's so good. I love it.
I'll bet you one that's going to come up in the future, and I'm going to be the outlier in it. And say, why were we all hyped about this? And I'm going to say, at the time you were, don't pretend you weren't. My Hero Academia. I think people are going to say that, but I actually still really like My Hero Academia.
I kind of got to that point around season 5, honestly.
I think it's because I got a real love for superhero stuff. So
With me, it was just because half the arcs are fucking training arcs.
Yeah, with all tournaments and everything.
And like, I get, training arcs are kind of important, but to the point where they take up entire seasons.
I think they noticed that, so around the later seasons, they really did actually lower the amount.
Yeah, it was ever since I had the tournament between the two classes.
Like, how many fucking fights between 1B A and 1B did we have?
We get it.
Too many.
We get it. They're all heroes.
But the point is, I don't want them to pretend that there was no hype around that show.
No,
That's
yeah,
what
of course.
I reckon.
I'd
that,
say the peak of the hype was around season 2 and 3.
and here's a question with when we forget hype. Do we think there's some revisionist history going on that everyone pretend that when a show goes bad, everyone pretends there was never any hype there to begin with, and how did this get so many seasons?
I think given the pace of anime releases nowadays, it's easier for the hype to fade. So like we don't remember it as much as like for example, I always think back to Naruto versus Pain, like the fucking epitome of like the highest level of cool animation.
What about here's a prime example. Like there's several shows where they're really hyped. We get it. We get the hype for Death Note. We get the hype for Dragon Ball Z. We get the hype for Kaiju number 8. We get the hype for Dan.
Get the hype for Free Ren.
Free Ren, exactly. Yeah, I completely get the hype for Free Ren. I'm trying to think when but okay, let's go into our specific examples. I'm going to start with Reese on this one, which is one we kind of. I feel like there's another one we kind of all agree on.
Yeah, with Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this still has massive hype.
Yep, it came out in 2022.
I'm gonna say now, from what I've seen online, most of the hype is for the manga.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people love that manga, and honestly, the manga is better than the anime. It's shown a lot better in that.
But I can tell you right now, I am very aware of what's going on in the manga. I am very aware of the plot elements, and I still don't get it.
Okay, that's fine. I have not read it in a long while.
So I don't get the anime hype, and I don't get the manga hype.
Yeah. So with the anime, I was just bored watching it. Not enough really happens to drive the central plot forwards. It's just Denji being horny for Makima for 12 episodes.
Yeah, and Denji's also got very similar issues that Rudius has.
Yeah,
actually,
his main character point is just being horny, and that's it.
I think probably the one, and this is not me defending him at all. I promise. I swear to God. I think the difference is, I'm just saying why Rudius is worse.
Yeah,
Denji, I think is it's a lot more unaware. You can definitely tell like he doesn't understand a lot of those social cues and things like that. Rudius does.
Yeah.
And he's just horny.
Yeah, I was about to bring up that point actually.
Denji's bad, but not as bad.
And that's why I thought I was going to like Denji at the start, because I thought, okay, because you can do a horny character and make it work.
Yeah, but the point is to develop beyond that. Don't just stick there for 12 episodes.
Yes, and you've got to at least make him redeemable at some point. I don't really get a sense with, especially knowing what goes on in the manga at the minute. Anything about him's that redeemable. He's really not that redeemable a character.
Yeah, he's just not that interesting.
But they'll certainly have them learn or kind of come to accept mistakes.
I mean, Chainsaw Man definitely does have a really slow start. I mean, it's kind of a similar problem to I heard Tower of God has, where the start is sort of so slow and really set-uppy that it's just not that high. Chainsaw Man, on the other hand, I think a lot of the better stuff from what happens in the manga, like the peak of the series, in my opinion, of the original season, was the fight against the Infinity Demon.
Yeah,
because you have to admit that was done well.
That was fine, but again, it's like even then I would still say it's just a passable show. I wouldn't say it's a great show.
What my biggest problem is the animation. It's like 90% 3D CGI.
Yes. It's especially upsetting considering it's done by Mappa.
Yeah, who, as we saw in later years, relied upon that heavily with Attack on Titan. Make all the Titans CGI, and look how badly that looked in the
but then there are other shows they've done that look seriously good, like just look at Jujutsu Kaisen or Zenshu.
Those both use CGI to brilliant effect.
Yeah, but their CGI is also to a much lesser amount than what we saw in Chainsaw Man, where 90% of the animation was all 3D CGI.
Yeah. I think with those ones though, like with Jujutsu Kaisen and Zenshu, there's so much going on that you can easily disguise as CGI.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, you really can't.
Yeah, and when you put up against the 2D elements in animation, there's just such a tonal clash of them.
Yeah.
The 3D CGI does not look that detailed. It looks like it was rushed out, really.
I think one of the reasons it's been really successful is that it's edgy and it's vibes. Like the show doesn't have to be good because it's just got like these quite iconic images, like the characters people can easily cosplay. You see it so frequently.
It's very different from other Shonen Jump manga. In the case that the characters aren't likable, and I think that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, but at the same,
it's not always great though.
No. Yeah, at a certain point, I'm like, but I need to like someone. It's like.
Yeah, like just as a comparison, there's a series out there called The First Law. All the characters in that series, all the characters in those books are assholes. They are so awful, and I love them.
Yeah,
because they are incredible. they are incredibly likable, which you don't really get as much in Chainsaw Man.
Okay, I'll give you another example. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That has everyone in that's an asshole, but because it's
They're comedically so asshole.
yeah, but that's the point. That's designed to be funny that these are the worst people possible.
Yeah, whereas Chainsaw Man plays it more straight, and there's not really a character you can latch on to carry the show. Enjoyment-wise.
I think every character kind of needs humanising, like, good elements, because that's what we go, okay, well, we can see where they're coming from, but if we can't, then it's harder.
I mean, that being said, I don't think Chainsaw Man is an awful show.
No, it's just mid.
Yeah, it's very, but it's and that's the thing. I do not get why.
I think there are good elements to it, and there is definite potential in the future.
And I think it was rather telling that this came out around the same time as Bocce the Rock, and Bocce the Rock actually kind of stole all its thunder.
Because Bocce the Rock was amazing.
Yeah, but let's face it, that came out of nowhere, and none of us were prepared for it.
Literally, Chainsaw Man had all the hype. Bocce had no hype going.
Yeah, literally.
And then look how it turned out for us.
Look how it turned out. Chainsaw Man's now kind of on the back burner, and Bocce's going from strength to strength.
So why do we think Chainsaw Man was so successful then?
I think it was because
Maybe with the mangas because it was doing something very different.
It was also so edgy at the time.
It's quite a hyper-violence thing, similar to
but I think that was it. I think Shonen Jump didn't really have, and this turns to the manga, I don't think Shonen Jump really had an ultra-violent property that they owned, so it felt very different. And of course it has that imagery of Denji and full Chainsaw Man, which that's an iconic image. Whatever you think of it.
Actually, sorry, just mentioning Devilman, I think that actually, because again, that's another thing that we didn't see the hype for, really.
Yeah, Devilman is another prime example. But the difference is with Devilman, I'll go to bat that that's a bad show, and I will point out several examples of why it's a bad show.
Meanwhile, Chainsaw Man, you can see some good in there.
Yeah. So, for example, the biggest problem with Devilman Crybaby, and and people have told me I'm wrong on this, but that I'm going to completely stand by it. It's the pacing is appalling.
I legit have no idea what's happening in that show half the time.
Yeah, because they cram the entire manga into 10 episodes. It just simply can't be done. This needed to be at least 2 or 3 seasons.
How many volumes of the manga were there?
Oh god,
there's a lot.
Hang on.
Well, the only thing people remember from the anime Devil May Cry Baby is the goofy running animation.
Yeah, that one.
The people like sprinting like that.
Yeah, fucking Scooby-Doo run right there.
Literally.
Like, again, those sequences were brilliant. Like, it sounds like in the same way Devilman was carried by those action sequences, Devilman very much was as well.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is a show that's very heavily built up by the action.
Give me a second.
And it also helps that Devilman's also from a very old IP as well.
Yeah. Yes, exactly, yeah.
I mean,
so it did have that history and prestige going into Crybaby.
Okay, let me see. So Devilman Crybaby's 10 episodes, so it's just 24 minutes long. So again, maybe if they were an hour, they might have got away with it. But again, I'm looking on there. It's like 9s and 9s, 5s. There's only 1 5 there.
How many volumes to the manga are there?
These are rubber-related anime. Oh wow, there was a lot of anime prior to this.
Yeah.
It's 5. It's the first one's 5 volumes. Second one's 6 volumes.
And does it just do the first 5 or do?
I think it does all of them. No, I think it does. I think it's mainly the first 5 because it's going.
Yeah, because that's the problem the King's Game had. It tried doing the. Yeah, I know. I have to mention it.
Gotta bring it back.
I haven't mentioned it in a while.
True.
Like they crammed the entirety of the original King's Game and King's Game Extreme into a single entity. That's like 10 volumes.
Like, say what you like about. Say what you like.
But also, just for instance, the original Devilman anime from the 70s, that was nearly 40 episodes compared to the 10 that Crybaby had.
Okay, so on the plus side, not bad Promised Neverland.
Season 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, everyone jumped off the Promised Neverland thing with that season. It was like you could get the hype going into season 2. That's the thing. We got to say these things are still hyped now.
Yeah.
Which I think appropriately brings me on to your subject.
Okay,
Elliot.
so my one is kind of interesting. There's a reason why I've been keeping it a secret for this long, and that's because this is a show we have talked about in the past. Not only that, it was a nominee for Anime of the year it came out.
I know.
And before you ask, it's not a wild card. Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh,
what did you think it was?
I thought you were in Nats and Magic.
Oh no.
No, but
That's actually very simple.
annoyingly, we did see the hype for that.
No, it
Wrong
is
making.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
No, I
Wow,
say
that is
I am.
interesting.
I am still on the hype train for this
Same.
one.
I'm with Cal.
Because
I'm interested in your views. There.
Yeah, because
I like to know. As a whole, I think the show's good.
Yeah.
I think it is a very well done show. I think David and Lucy are both very great lead protagonists. It's Studio Trigger, so the animation is incredible.
Yeah.
But there's just I just see a bunch of people praising different hell of the show. I just think, really, this? I like it, but not to that degree.
well, the thing is as well. This is directed by one of my favorite anime directors, Hiroyuki Amashi.
But that. All right. So as to why I don't like it, there are a couple of reasons.
Mhm.
First of all, I think they start killing off characters too early.
Okay.
Because
I think-
and also there's the manner in which they killed off the first character.
Yeah.
Because it's the first character to die. He didn't die in like a big epic fight or a heist going wrong. He was shot by a guy who was pissing on the road.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I was just like, oh, okay, everyone's gonna die by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or more notably, everyone except Lucy is gonna die. And I think this is the first time that I have been pissed off that I was 100% right.
How did you know at that point, or what made you think that?
Well, because like they killed off a character in such a nothing way,
Yeah.
and because they just killed him off. I just thought, okay, and then episode 5 or 6 or wherever the leader ended up dying.
Yeah.
I just thought, oh yeah, they were
Yeah.
dead, they were gonna die. That's because of that. I just kind of stopped caring about the characters.
Yeah.
I just kind of became less attached to them.
I'll disagree on that one. Because I think it does that in the way a sense of you kind of know there's a possibility some people can come out alive, and you're sort of begging for it to happen.
No,
Yeah,
I just did not think that was gonna
Because
happen.
I think it also ties into the source material because don't forget, it used to be a tabletop RPG. This game.
Yeah.
And also,
the
you got
franchise.
to remember in the video game that they're really tying into. That does happen a lot in the video game
Constantly,
as well. Yeah, don't get attached to anyone really unless you can fuck them later.
yeah. So in that case, Edge was a bit of leeway because it's
But
staying true to
at
the
the
source
same
material.
at the same time, it's Elliot's choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
of course,
but at
of
the same
course.
time, because of that, like I didn't grow as attached to the characters as I feel like I should. Especially as I did like those characters, like the leader of that gang. I thought he was amazing. I thought he was a really sick character. And then another issue I have is the second half.
Yeah.
When David took over the group after the first leader died. Now, I understand why his character and Lucy ended up being like that. I understand why they both became traumatized and why all that stuff happened. Because the last episode ended with the heist gone so horribly wrong, you would get some trauma from that. But they weren't the same. And like it was just sort of like, oh, the plucky upstarts, Lucy's like really fun, and next thing you know, bam, traumatized, and like you didn't see any progression of that. So because of that, I wasn't able to get used to the new characters, and it just kind of took a lot of the fun out of it for me, and like just not seeing them like that, and especially with what they did to Lucy.
Yeah, but
because
again,
they made her. Because again, I understand why they made her that way, but it's not the character I grew in love with.
Yeah.
And because of that, they kind of just made her a damsel right up to the end. Pretty much.
I will stress though, I think I still really proper like Edge Runners. I still think it was the best anime that came out that year. Mainly because, again, Amashi knows how to tell a good story in like a very short amount of time. You get that with like all his series never go that long. Like I think Killer Kill's the Gurren Lagann's the longest thing he did.
27 Gurren Lagann, I think.
Gurren Lagann, so that's the longest one he's ever done. Like if you ever want a prime example of where he's really good at telling a story in a short amount of time, you check out Space Patrol Luluco, which is basically, how do I put this? It's basically Studio Trigger Astrobot.
Yeah.
Because it's basically about a character that travels to different Trigger worlds. So like there's a Little Witch Academia
You said about this.
Yeah.
world. I think they actually do a Gurren Lagann world
Yeah.
in that.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah, and they're all like 8 minutes long, those episodes. But
Yeah.
I think, though, as well, it's interesting that This one, though, I mean, this got so hyped that it actually reinvigorated people to play the game.
Yeah, to return to
Yeah,
And it-
literally.
And of course, it was then we found out later that by the final episode you realise this isn't a sequel to Cyberpunk 2077. It's a prequel.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I think as a whole it is a good show. Again, characters are fun, amazing animation. The action is seriously good, but those things held it back from it being from me like absolutely loving it.
So can-
Like I think I would have liked if they gave Lucy more agency at the end, like
Yeah, okay.
like at the end in the final, like when they were trying to. First of all, one thing I think they should have done, I'm fine with them killing off the characters, but do it in the last couple episodes.
Okay, so
So make those deaths more tragic. Make them
Yeah.
feel as heavy as I think they should, rather than just oh okay, they're going to die. Yep, let's die. They're going off the checklist.
Yeah.
I'd say Rebecca's death hit everyone pretty
Yeah.
big.
That's because Rebecca's a fucking amazing character. Best character, no doubt. She's amazing.
Yeah, but it's what you say about having early deaths hurts the work when he was very famous doing that in Gurren Lagann. With that famous plot twist episode 8.
That was treated in a very
And that was the one-off.
I mean,
Oh no, because more characters die, central.
I have not seen.
no,
Go-
yeah,
I have-
true.
Not that many
No,
die.
I mean, in terms of like the villagers and like characters throughout until episode 8, it's like,
Like most of them are still alive by the end of the finale of Gurren Lagann.
well, yeah, but like, I mean, it's a very different show. Like, this reminds me of Halo Reach, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, you know that
Halo Reach is basic, but the thing with Halo Reach is again we knew about the Reach incident because we'd heard about it.
My thought was with Rogue One.
Yeah.
Oh, true, yeah.
But I mean, the big difference is with those things, you knew the characters were going to die at the end, right from the very
yeah,
beginning.
we did with this.
But and most of the deaths happened at the end, so it gave you time to sort of grow to love these characters, which I don't think Edge Runners really gave us.
Also, I will stress, I might be a bit on this one. I don't think Rogue One's that good.
It's my favorite.
No, you shut your mouth.
It's my favorite Star Wars.
Is it?
It's not my favourite Star Wars, but it's really good.
I love it. I think it's a
I
better.
remember not
Like,
liking
I-
it. Sorry,
Put
but
it-
Ram,
I've
get
only
out.
seen it once.
Put it this way, it's definitely the one you definitely feel the most was fixed by reshoots.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can really tell this film had a lot of reshoots.
And it's also been propped up now with the Andor prequel series, which have been amazing.
Oh yeah,
But-
the Andor prequel series is amazing.
But the second thing I think would have fixed it is again give Lucy more agency around the end.
Mm.
Like actually have her properly try to escape the big bads instead of being a bit of a damsel. And also, I think maybe give it maybe 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
Like in the middle, give us time for us to experience David and Lucy with that trauma before they become fully jaded.
Yeah.
I think the time skip just kind of took me out of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
fair.
the next, I think
yeah.
I'm definitely still on the hype train though with Cyberpunk though. That's the weird thing about it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong to be on the hype train, but it's just my personal
Yeah.
problems with it.
Incidentally, I've looked up what Asaishi's next project is because again we've reviewed quite a few of his projects. We also reviewed Promare. He directed that as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
which BNA's just fully ripped off.
I want to point out BNA is the same studio, isn't it?
It's the same studio,
Yeah,
but it's literally just the same story as Promare, but with
Yeah, but
furries and fire people.
Yeah, but he didn't do that one.
Yeah.
But he is. He also did the trigger short for Star Wars Visions,
Yeah.
and his next project is going to be the new Panty and Stockings with Garter Belt.
Oh, that's cool.
Because that's why we've made it for like 15 years.
Yeah, that's also weird because he did a bit for. He hasn't really worked on that franchise prior to this, so that surprised me. I was also surprised of the Gurren Lagann recap movies. He only directed one of them.
Yeah, it's the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he only directs the first one. I don't know why he didn't return to do the second one.
Well, the second one did a lot of changes
Oh, that's probably
compared to the anime.
that explains a lot. Yeah. So yeah. Oh no, he did. He did the first season of Panty and Stockings. So yes, he's going to return to that. I still think his magnum opus has been. I don't know what is his magnum opus now because
To me, it'll always be Gurren Lagann.
I think most people say Gurren Lagann.
I would.
No, I think some people would say Cyberpunk actually.
And then other people say Kill or Kill.
I think some people would actually say Promare now.
No, I'd still
Not really. I think it was hyped at the time, but that hype's definitely gone down.
Do you
While
think-
I think Gurren Lagann is still very much up
Yeah.
there.
Do you
because
think
the-
Promare is going to become one of those hidden gems of his career when we look back on it, like, and do a retrospective on it?
I think it definitely will, but the problem is it's a film.
Yeah,
It's an anime.
and Gurren Lagann as well. Like again, it came out sort of before anime boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
2007,
Still,
I
it's
think.
still seminal. You know, it's hard to beat that.
And it's still making appearances now in modern mech games.
Yeah,
It's just,
2000, like, it has been in various versions of those Robot Wars games.
Yeah, Super Robot Wars.
Seriously, release them over here, you cowards.
Anyway, Ren.
yes.
Oshinoko.
Yeah.
So, I am going to be honest with you. I'm kind of with you for two reasons on this one, but I want to hear your reasons.
So, like going into it, and I think this is the same with Jobless Reincarnation. I just really could not get past the concept. I find it so weird. I find like what. So initially, I was reading like, okay, he's reincarnated as the child of his favorite idol, and then watching the first episode, it's like, right, so he's her doctor, and he's also cared for a dying girl who's also a super fan, and then they both die, and then they're both reincarnated as a children. What the fuck?
It's
Sorry,
weird.
that's so weird.
It's a weird concept.
So
Yeah.
like, you know, if I could get past that and the rest of the show was like really interesting, you know, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it has these moments. But then like it does the same things as Jobless Reincarnation, where it's like, oh yay, breastfeeding. This is weird coming from my idol who's also 16.
Yeah.
That's only at the beginning.
I know, but
I wanna
still-
And unlike Jobless Reincarnation, I don't think it's done in a perfect way.
no. but
Also-
it's
also a couple of
still
other facts.
done.
Also, a couple of other the main reason that first episode is so good is it is one of the most scathing indictments of the idol industry in Japan. Like, in a way that I'm almost... I was actually watching it at the time, I was like, I cannot believe they're going to get away with this. Because this is going... This is going to get the company...
Yeah.
Someone's going to get sued over this.
I mean, Oshinoko, the big part of Oshinoko was it is kind of a commentary and criticism on sort of the showbiz industry.
Yeah.
In general, that is how it goes on. That's what they're kind of going for.
Which is
However,
valid.
I'm with you on the bit on this one though, which is I can't get over the weird incest shit that goes on
Yeah.
throughout half of it,
Weird, man.
That really takes
and
a lot of
it actually gets worse in the
Well,
manga later.
Because obviously early on they don't realise that they knew each other
Yes.
in the past life. They just know like that I guess they were fans or something in the past life early on, or don't have full knowledge for any. But like if you're going to do a commentary on this, there are different ways to do it that I think are less problematic.
Yeah,
so-
that is super fucking weird.
Okay, so like for example, Zombieland Saga is also an indictment. Initially starts out as an
Yeah.
indictment on the idol industry,
Yeah.
but the difference is I think Zombieland Saga didn't commit to it in that one. They kind of
No, it went off track.
it kind of was a bit off track, but I get this. But at least they keep it on some level
It's
similar
kind
to
of an
that.
indictment of that, but also a bit of a celebration of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's an indictment on the business, but a celebration of the idols.
And the
Yeah.
fan base
Yeah.
that likes it. So
Yeah.
it basically
Yeah.
says, we think there's some fucked up things
Like,
going
I specifically think of the end of season 2, where there's sort of like, I think there's a giant flood in the city or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
That's what I like about it though. This idea of we think there's some fucked up things going on in this industry, but you are not to blame, and because you like it and you buy it,
Yeah.
you are not to blame. But you can enjoy the stuff and still demand change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so it. I mean, have we gotten a lot into K-pop the last few years as well, and like standing idols and standing groups and things like that. I get it. Like, I really get the idol point of view and why people like it because it's meant to be liked. But I just really found it hard to sort of grapple with and make sense of. And admittedly, I didn't watch loads, so I'm sure there are moments where it redeems and is way better than the initial slump.
How much did you get into it?
I think 5 or 6 episodes.
I think the worst of it, personally, I noticed was in episode 1.
Yeah, it was the first like few.
But there's also the fact that the reality TV show girl has to.
Yeah, the reality show is where I think the show starts getting good.
That's a really good one. But then you go, and there's all sorts of things. It's like it's such a yo-yo show. It's like it goes from one great thing to one weird. And then the manga is really weird. And also, I'm aware of how it ends in the manga, and the ending's crap.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, here's kind of my thoughts. My thoughts on it is once they focus on one particular thing, like with the reality show and the stage play, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like season 2, when they were focusing on the stage play, I understood the hype. I was like, because I was fully there. But then when it's like, oh, I have to find my dad, I just thought, oh god.
No, that's a problem.
It just kind
actually.
of goes all over the place.
No, here's the thing about it that I don't like about that. It's the fact that they big up so much industry on who the father is. They big that up so early on, and then they seem to almost be not interested in that for half of it.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's like, oh, okay, are we interested in this mystery or not?
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
or the other, and
it's almost like they were so focused on the message they forgot the plot.
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's it. They're so common, and it's again, we know this author is good
Yes.
at what he does. He did Kaguya-sama.
Yeah, he is also apparently doing another series now.
Yeah.
It has been commissioned. We have seen a little bit of.
Yeah, and the art, he's not doing the art this time. The art's being done by the person who did Records of Ragnarok.
That's good art, no fairness.
Yeah, so as long as he's doing just the art and he's not doing the story, and it's not the story writers from Records of Ragnarok, we're fine.
Yeah. No fairness, from what I've heard, the anime majorly shafted the manga.
Yeah. I saw clips.
So
the manga
what-
was
slideshows.
Yeah.
So let's okay.
So yeah, so I appreciate what it gave. Like, you know, I appreciate people like it. Songs are great, very well animated, you know, beautifully presented. But like, just did not understand it.
But it's also like there's
Yeah,
some.
I'm very up and down with it.
Yeah.
It's like some of those moments, like where like some of the moments are so ridiculous, like the baby's doing the
Glow
glow
stick.
stick thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just funny. I just
Yeah.
thought that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I was laughing my ass off when I saw it, but it was one of those like, this is supposed to be like this hyper realistic social commentary, and it's not quite.
So confused.
This doesn't quite match.
Yeah.
But it's. I also found it interesting though. Like the thing about that is the first episode is so good, the rest of the show can never live up to it, and it almost makes me wonder: would the show been better if it had just been about I?
I
If
think
we hadn't had the reincarnation aspect to
I
it.
think like if you compared it to another show that kind of peaked as first episode, To Your Eternity, but the difference is To Your Eternity was still really good.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
To Your Eternity is still.
Yeah.
Despite,
Like the first episode of that first season is the peak. Like it's the best. I stand by. It's the best first episode I've ever seen in an anime. And yeah, the entire show doesn't live up to that, but it's still a very, very good show.
And it
I'll
stays
agree.
and it stays on message and it's consistent.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's a weird vehicle for that story, like in the same way that Oshinoko is. But I think like that just goes so many different places and doesn't stick.
but it's also from another author coming off their most seminal work because it's the same author as
Silent Voice.
Silent Voice.
Mhm.
That's
Oh, is that right?
yeah, first thing they did
Ah,
after Silent
yeah,
Voice.
no, I think I remember you telling me that.
And
That's
so it's still really good.
yeah.
To Your Eternity. Like the manga is seriously good. Like the second season, I thought this is where it's going to fall down, and then the second season is really damn good still.
Yeah, I think second season was slow at start, but it really picks itself up again.
I think though.
Like particularly when we see that Prince character.
Okay, so I found it interesting. So on terms of like, are we still on the hype train thing with Oshinoko? Because we know where we all stand on Slackpunk, and we all know where we stand with Chainsaw Man. Where are we on the hype train with Oshinoko? Because we're getting very mixed responses from everyone.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm very up and down. When they focus on a singular thing, it's really good. But when they go back to the main plot, it's kind of iffy.
Yeah, because I'm at a point now. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not that hyped for it.
Yeah, same. That's kind of my view.
The
on
thing
it.
is,
I'm gonna watch. I'll watch the third season, but I'm not gonna see it above other stuff.
No.
here's the thing: from my knowledge of the manga and where it goes, my hype is killed. Honestly, the later manga plot points killed all my hype for it.
So it's the Tokyo Revengers effect.
Except with Tokyo Revengers, I actually the weird one. I kind of like Tokyo Revengers still.
You haven't read the manga though, have you?
No, but I'm working my way through it.
I've saw last year when I was doing the Tokyo Revengers questions, I did look up some, like I looked on the wiki and I saw where some of the stuff goes. I can now kind of see why people hate it. I'm not gonna lie.
I disagree with them completely. I think it's a fine ending.
You haven't reached the ending though.
But yeah, okay.
So Cal's in the hype camp, and we.
Yeah.
So let's shall we move on to my first example, my main example,
Yeah, go on.
which is it's more the fact this is hyped above another show, and people say this show's better than the other show, which is, and I'll say the show in question that I'm referring to, as everyone says it's better than this show, is Rascal Doesn't Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Now I get that. Now that one is a show I really like. We both know the one, and I really actually like the movie sequel.
Yeah.
The
I've
one-
not watched the movie.
So,
Now well, you wouldn't have because I had to watch it through less than legal means because they couldn't fucking release it over here.
yeah.
What Pornhub?
Hey, it's good enough for Dragon Ball.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
no, I think it was on Daily Motion in the end.
Daily Motion. I'm so surprised that site is still going.
That's
It's only going for reasons like this.
like this. That's the only way it's still existing.
Literally.
So, but the show that everyone kept saying, "Oh, this is just a pale imitation of." Anyone want to guess on what it was about?
Monogatari. You told me that during the live stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I may.
It's Monogatari. Yeah,
I've not seen
it's. I've watched most of the first one, which was Kizo Monogatari.
Yeah.
And everything, and I just think everything that Running Girl Senpai gets right, I think it gets wrong.
I've only seen one episode of Monogatari. Can't remember which one it was, but I think it's when two students are trapped in a classroom.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like the thing is, it goes. I feel like Monogatari way too hard tries for its surreal imagery over telling a really great story. And people point out every time like, "Oh, this great." But I first think, yeah,
Is that the one where the toothbrush scene comes from?
I was about to come
Yeah.
to that. The famous
Yeah.
incest toothbrush scene is from that. And
Not onto that at all.
Yeah.
Basically, guy brushes a girl's teeth and she makes sex moans.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
weird.
and
We shall watch it afterwards.
Yay!
Please-
Family movie night. Let's go.
Please-
You've
please-
got a toothbrush here, haven't you, Cal?
please let's
Yeah, I heard him gagging on it before.
please let's not.
Bring the whole family. We're watching Redo of a Hero afterwards.
Please let's.
Uncensored.
Please let's not.
Of
I
course.
don't want to have. I don't want to have an agency looking into me right now.
Another agency.
Yeah.
Into you.
Not again.
It's God. Some of the most. And also the thing about it is you can do surrealist imagery, but you need a reason behind it. So one creator who's very good at surrealist imagery. I'm blanking on the name at the minute, so I'm gonna get up an anime that I know they do.
Junji Ito. We all love his animes.
Yeah, who doesn't love Uzumaki?
Is oh no, I hit the wrong one again.
Food Wars. Oh yes, that the very surreal anime of girls' clothes flying off when they eat a
It's-
hamburger.
It's,
And 100 Girlfriends recently did a joke related to that.
How did that?
It's yeah. Watch 100 Girlfriends. It is so funny.
It's basically what's his name? It's the let me see all the stuff on this one. Oh yeah, it's basically the work of Kunihiko Ikuhara. And if you want to know what he did, he was an early person on Sailor Moon.
Yep.
Soul Eater, but he did some. He was an episode director on Sailor Moon. He did storyboards for Sailor. He did direct some of Sailor Moon R.
Yeah.
But he mainly comes into his own because of some of the things he's created himself. So like he created Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Which we all know is Gundam Witch from Mercury.
Actually, more and more you say it. He did.
Which is the same creators, the same plot structure.
I've not seen it.
Apparently, he's also done this recent movie series that I haven't watched yet called
Which one?
Recycle of a Penguidrum.
That explains why he has a
Yeah,
penguin in
But
the picture.
the main thing, but one of the things that we really talked about a lot was
Oh!
Sarah.
Sarah's mine.
Right, so he does a load of gay stuff.
Yes, no, and particularly around.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Particularly,
Where's the Otis's profile picture?
but he also.
Hence why his work on Revolutionary Girl and which was then inspired for Gundam Witch from Mercury.
But he also, he particularly does a lot of work. He has a lot of work around gay women.
Yeah.
Actually, because the series he did, another series he did recently was Yurikumi Arashi, which basically does mean lesbian bear storm when you translate it, and it is exactly what you think. It's anthropomorphic bear girls being lesbians,
Hey.
and it's honestly, I know that sounds like it's a weird exploitive shit. It's actually really good. I promise you, it's actually really good.
Yeah, we already have that. It's called B-Stars.
Hey.
Yeah, but
Which also is another final season, but several seasons.
yeah,
long
but he's
arc.
very good.
Oh.
But he is very good at doing like. But the thing is, he's apart from LGBTQ themes that he does very well. He does surrealist imagery very well. But the thing is about his work is, there's always a reason why there's surrealist imagery there. Like it ties into the text in some. So let's take Utena for example. Utena does have tons of surrealist imagery, but it's implied that the villain and like the force that's being used to create the the villain of the series is basically kind of responsible for twisting reality. It's never actually explicitly said, but it is implied that that's what's happening.
One show that I think of when it comes to surrealist imagery that I don't think works very well is Sunny Boy.
Shining Boy, yeah, is another prime example. But
Which that was one I was also really hyped up, if I remember.
But the reason I'm saying this up is Monogatari doesn't really have a reason why it has that surrealist imagery.
No,
It's just it's just there for the sake of it, and I'm never a fan of that.
So can I add to so I'll say my only understanding of the Monogatari series was from GIFs and clips I'd seen on Tumblr when I was back on it in the day.
Yeah, this is such a Tumblr anime. It's unbelievable.
So all it was like screen caps, GIFs, and like montages of characters, and all of it was surrealist imagery. And obviously that lends itself so well to just like taking the images and the scenes out of context and just admiring it for how pretty it is and how surreal it is.
One scene I remember seeing recently on r/anime was I think it was from Monogatari, was a girl saying, "Oh, one sec, I need to remember that." It shoves her hand into her head, starts fumbling around with her brain, takes out, just goes, "Oh, I remember now."
Right.
See, here's the thing about it. It does very similar plots to I will say it does very similar plots to Rascal Doesn't Dream of series, because I should point out light novels all take different names depending on the art. Bunny Girl is just the first one, and they just use it for the whole season. That's why all the movies have different names as well.
Yeah.
But the difference is as well. I think because it has that more grounded reality, you can buy into it a bit better. Plus, Sakta is a much better male lead.
Yeah.
As far as things go, like that's the thing about Monogatari. I don't really like any of the characters.
I just wanted to make another comparison between Chainsaw Man, because I think again that show is very visually pleasing when it wants to be. In the same way, I think Monogatari series does the same thing. Because it's like here are these really interesting moments that out of context do not make sense. Whereas if you have the surrealist imagery scenes with something that supports it story-wise, Rascal, I would say Serial Experiments Lane, then it matches up.
Yeah, Serial Experiments Lane can get away with it because it's again there's a reason for that surrealist imagery. I don't like it when it's surrealist imagery for the sake of surrealist imagery.
No.
It's what I like to call Southland Tale syndrome.
Yeah,
as in the idea of it's pretentious shit for the sake of pretentious shit.
Yeah, like one thing I can think about that one, like an example of that I can think of is actually from a manga. I keep hyping up Bakuman. Read Bakuman. It's really good. And where there's one guy where there's like a musician who becomes a manga artist, and people were like hyping up his story, thinking, "Oh my god, this guy's making a manga! Wow, it's so cool!" And then next thing, people read it and they just go, "This is shit. It's just weird art for the sake of weird. It's just weird art. It's not really much plot."
No.
Can I also point out? I would point out of the ones we've talked about of all our shows, 3 of them have iconic OPs. If you think about it, because Chainsaw Man is an iconic OP, Oko does, and that one is
Cyberpunk has an iconic OP.
A lot of people like the Cyberpunk.
Yes, people like the Franz Ferdinand one, but it's not as popular. Say, for example, the other 3. Like even Monogatari has that one that everyone points out. It comes in those OP quizzes all the time. That one.
Yeah.
But also, problem with Chainsaw Man, most of its iconic imagery in the OP is ripped from other films.
Yeah, exactly.
Just drawn with its own characters in place.
So I wonder how far an OP goes to hyping up a show.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to fucking shows that Darling in the Franxx, right? You know, that's a hype fucking OP.
I mean, the entire reason I first watched Watamote is because that OP is really sick. Like, I'm not a big fan of the show. I still stand by it's one of the best OPs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What we saw along the West in the 90s and 2000s with Dragon Ball. Everyone remembers Rock the Dragon.
And you just took my bloody example of that.
There you go.
But that's the thing, everyone,
because that's so iconic for Westerns.
And what do Americans remember about Dragon Ball TT? The really crap opening.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get Dan.
Where it says it's Enter the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
Repeatedly on loop.
Yeah. And if you watch DBZA Abridged, they use it as Vegeta's entrance music for when the wrestling match against Riku, and he just says, "Oh, fuck off."
Yeah.
Oh,
speaking of which, you guys need to catch one Daima.
Is it really good?
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
It broke Crunchyroll two episodes in a row.
Much of Dragon Ball do I need to be aware of to watch it?
Not that much.
Not that much. No.
Okay, just like know the character.
I'm actually starting to catch up now.
Okay, so don't need to know like any events.
He is right, and it's actually improved my opinion of Super.
Interesting.
Yeah, but literally it broke Crunchyroll servers 2 episodes
Twice.
in a row. And episodes 19 and 20.
And not just Latin America, it was
global.
Okay.
God,
I mean, it's Dragon Ball. That's gotta be.
see, that's the thing. I've got to go to more Latin America just for how much they love Dragon Ball because I'll fit in very well.
Yeah, literally, because people will show footage of Latin America, and it's all like pictures of Dragon Ball on shops and restaurants,
Yes.
but like poorly drawn.
I just imagine it would be like that one scene in from Aladdin. He's got a Dragon Ball shirt. You idiots! We've all got Dragon Ball shirts.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Germany's love for David Hasselhoff. It's
Yeah, literally.
love for Goku.
But it's interesting because
like they don't have Jesus in church. They have Goku.
Yeah, literally.
Goku died for our sins.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and Frieza.
and the name of the Father, the Son, and the holy shit, that's a Kamehameha.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Holy Saiyan, but I forgot.
In the name of the Father, Son, Kamehameha. There you go.
Hey,
Hey.
Yeah,
Ren wins that one.
Good.
Yeah, but with Diamond though, it's just so funny. This is the way that Toriyama left the Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
because the community is so up in arms about Daima at the minute. It's hilarious.
As in,
After what's been introduced
in a good way.
in a good
Good
way.
way.
Okay,
They
interesting.
Because literally everyone's pissing themselves laughing.
Six-
Because Daima's the most involved Toriyama's been
Six
in Dragon Ball since
Six
Z.
Ripley.
Oh
Even
wow.
more so than Super.
So with Super Toriyama, he gave notes
Yeah,
to
he
students,
still
and overall plot
yeah,
lines.
he wrote the story. Meanwhile, someone else did the art for it.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and even he gave like brief notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Daima, he was heavily involved in.
That's good.
I should
Oh, that's a
I
nice
should
addition.
apologise. Ripley's very attention starved at the minute.
Yeah.
She always is, aren't you?
But that's a nice legacy for him to leave.
So
Yeah.
what is incidentally the one difference is after we're all on the hype train when it comes to Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
and Dragon Ball in general. The equivalent of like Latin America with Dragon Ball is in Japan is One Piece.
Yeah.
Like where are we standing?
1/8 of the entire population reads it.
Reads
Love
it.
it.
What? And like when I was there, it was like you could go to any part of Japan
Yeah.
without seeing One Piece stuff. Like there was one. Like even I went to some of the most rural. I went to a very rural part of Japan. There was still One Piece keychains, One Piece fax holders. It's like you couldn't go anywhere without One Piece stuff. So how are we on the hype train when it comes to One Piece?
Oh, I love it.
One Piece.
I'm fully up there.
We all
It
get.
is amazing.
So we're agreed. We all get the hype on One Piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So-
And it's also making more of a hype now with the Netflix adaptation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Season 2 soon as well.
Yes.
actually.
Cannot wait.
And that's the funny thing. I get the hype for all three of the big three of
One Piece. Bleach,
One Piece,
Naruto.
One
Yeah.
Piece, Bleach, Naruto.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Do you say you get the hype for all three of them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I
say so.
definitely
I mean, for God's sake, Naruto. I was obsessed with Naruto when I was like 18.
I feel like I haven't talked enough though about Monogatari. But could you go back to that
Yeah.
briefly
Yeah,
for a
sure.
second?
Yeah.
So
But with my experience, I don't know anything apart from it. For the Super Machine and the gifts of the cat girl with white hair.
yeah, that's the thing.
That's my only exposure to the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I don't even know that.
The only character I know is like a girl in like school with big green backpack, like pink
Yeah,
or
they
something. I know
try
it's
to-
Batman Monogatari.
Yeah, but there's also the fact is, it's the fan service in it is pretty uncomfortable. I always find it. That's the thing about it. They tell decent romance stories, but I also find some parts of it quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially whenever you bring incest into things, I'm just like, this is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
uncomfortable. And I guess some of you are trying to justify shit. I'm like,
Which
stop.
is why we don't talk to those people, Cal.
That's why we don't talk to them. Yeah, it's like that, right. Conversation's over. You're trying to justify incest.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Like it's one of the at least when Aya doesn't hide her feelings in Russian, it was done for a joke,
Yeah.
and he was so not on board with it.
Yeah.
When it's
Yeah,
written-
like she with her is so comedic that
Yeah.
she. It's because she also likes reading that stuff. Like I still remember that one line she had. It's not It's not good unless they're blood related.
I also say, you pop a boner, die. There's a
I say also another one that I think is good. Alright, is the one in Bungo Stray Dogs, where it's so comedically over the top. It kind of becomes funny.
it's funny because I feel like again Bungo Stray Dogs prime brilliant example.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like I'm at this point now with Monogatari where I'm kind of really sick of people like I'm glad that people do like Rascal Does Read Bunny Girl Senpai, it's continued. But it's not achieved that same status that Monogatari has. And I think
I think it's because Monogatari is a more well-known name.
And it has so many seasons.
Yeah, there's so
Yeah.
much of it. Meanwhile,
That's
with
good,
with Bunny Girl, we just had one anime and a movie, and the anime came out 2018.
yeah, and the final light novel's coming out later this year. So they will have a definitive ending soon. But that's the thing. That's another thing about Monogatari I don't like about it. It's way too much of it.
Yeah.
Like, even if you've been following to this point, you've got to admit, there is way too much of it.
Yes.
Something that you'll never see re-say about Gundam.
Hell no, because we're going for 40 odd years now.
Yeah, but at least with Gundam, majority of the time, you're starting something new. It's not trying to follow on from something else.
Yeah, so unless you dive into the Universal Century timeline, you can jump into any other point in the franchise.
Yeah.
So, for example,
because it's all alternate universes.
Yeah.
So, for example, the one we will constantly go back and forth whether we like it or hate it is Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
For example, we'll never agree whether we like that or not.
No.
I still don't to this day know whether I like it or not.
That's my last rewatch. It's just, it was big for the West because it was the first exposure we had seen to Gundam as a franchise.
Yeah, I can't believe
Tsunade.
that went onto Cartoon Network uncensored at that time.
I will be honest, my thoughts on Witch of Mercury have simmered, mostly because I felt like the second season was rushed.
Yeah, that's what everyone else says in the fan base.
Yeah.
It's
Because
funny.
there's a lot of cut content.
It could have been so much better.
Because they tried to squeeze everything in. And it's also
Should've been
not the film.
Should have been 50 episodes.
I
Should have
know.
been way longer.
Which is what we had previously with Blooded Orphans.
Yeah.
And that's a really good show.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that was still labelled as 2 seasons.
but at least with Witch from Mercury, we did get the Soletta being dubbed over by Courage.
Yes.
Still one of my favourite clips ever.
Yeah. And now we've got the new Gundam show coming out in April, which has now been confirmed for Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Like, randomly.
Yeah, Amazon seems to be trying to get back into the anime game. They had one. They had one this season.
Guys, you gave up with Vinland Saga. Go home.
They should have stuck at it after Vinland Saga.
Yeah,
That
but
gave people a
Ooh,
fucking reason
yeah,
to do
they
it.
got a new season called. They got one this season called Ubel Blatt, which is basically the sort of spiritual successor to Berserk, but except it's not as good in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, let's be honest, it's Berserk.
And the fact of the matter is, and everyone's complained about it because they've censored it very heavily for both the gore and the nudity, which is very prevalent in the manga. Which that was one of those where even I thought at that point, like, guys, you've changed so much about this now. You might as well not be adapting it. So it's like if you're that offended by what you're adapting, don't adapt it.
Literally.
It's one of those things like I'm always kind of a bit weird like that. I'm always kind of like, if you are going to adapt, why would you adapt something where you know you can't broadcast half of what you want to do, or you have no willingness to broadcast half of what you want to do?
Meanwhile, the big news for Ren, Season 3 Rings of Power confirmed.
Kill.
How is that
Kill
show
Jeff
still
Bezos.
going?
It's been commissioned for 5 seasons.
Commission.
They've already paid for it all. They have to do it.
Commission.
Yeah,
Is it
literally, they sunk over $1 billion into
Is it still those same showrunners who was kind of like done on a dare?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Christ, they didn't have any experience prizes, and they gave them the keys to Lord of the Rings.
Literally.
Like, it's one of the. And I want to point out,
I mean, if you need a comparison, Windig, who did the Aftermath Star Wars novels, got the job because he begged Disney for it on Twitter.
I mean, you only have to look at PPE procurement during the COVID pandemic to realise that people who are massively underqualified get contracts because they know people.
Hi-oh!
Yeah.
Can I also stress the reason we don't like Rings of Power is for the reason to do with Lord of the Rings lore and storytelling. It's not because of what right-wing idiots say on
It's
Twitter.
also just a bad show.
It is a bad show.
It doesn't have,
Yeah.
like, you can
It-
get
but-
all the law right.
We
but
are-
it doesn't make it good.
Yeah, but it's a bad show independent of what those right-wing critics are saying.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's what we're basically pointing out. So that way,
Yeah.
so send your angry comments to them, not us.
Yeah.
Um,
So we get 3 more seasons of Incel Sauron.
Yay!
Oh, God,
Yippee!
Electra, why didn't you like me?
I'm watching a series of writing lectures at the minute, and somebody keeps bringing it up in them is, well, you know what? If you want to make a character likable, just make Sauron sex stage.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we could we'll do some more before we wrap this up. A little more before we wrap this up. But is there any other shows we can think of off the top of our heads where we all think, why the hell did this get some hype?
All of us.
No, I'm not saying no. Okay, maybe just a few examples.
I mean, it's only in France.
I mentioned Sonny Boy. That one actually got quite a bit of hype when it came out.
And you don't get why it's hype.
Not at all.
But it's been so long, I don't remember Sonny Boy.
No,
I-
don't either.
I didn't, but then I remember someone commenting on r/anime saying, I tried watching Sonny Boy, I don't know how people enjoy it. What's up with you? I was just like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
I bet you a bunch of people would say about Fairy Tale. I don't agree with this. I'm just saying. I bet you a bunch of people.
Well,
would
no,
say.
because that was really hyped up back in the day.
Actually, here's
Yeah,
a question.
I'm
What's
popular.
what's the opposite?
Well, the opposite would be.
What was a show that we were hyped up for, but other people just weren't?
I know one that you like, Ren.
Go on.
That one, Elegant Yokai Apartments. I think.
Yeah,
Elegant Yokai
it's so
Apartment.
good.
Which I will freely admit, I think.
You probably think it was okay, which is fair. I'm not saying it's
Yeah,
a
it's
brilliant
fine.
show.
It's a
Yeah.
fine show.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't go. It needed to be incredibly hyped,
Yeah,
but
no, yeah,
I
it didn't
mean,
like-
big one, Shield Hero season 2 and 3.
yeah, I completely agree. Shield Hero season 2 and 3 are perfectly fine.
They are good. I really like them.
The
Same.
problem is that season 1 was so good
Yeah.
that it almost had to go downhill from there. It was like
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to season 4.
Yeah, same.
See?
It was just impossible to sustain a level of hype for
I
season
guess
2 and 3.
Slime season 3 as well. A lot of people were not hyped for that. I agree.
No, I agree with you completely. Slim season 3 is perfectly serviceable.
It's
Yeah.
it's very good. I like seeing Tempest being built up. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, I kind of wonder with that one, like, why do you guys not like this? This was half the fucking show to begin with.
Because it's because a lot of the first half is meetings and no big fights.
Yeah, but
I mean, in all fairness, season 2 I think is still peak of the series. We got some massive fights in that.
based on the way people reassess the Phantom Menace now, I reckon people will reassess season 3 because you remember all that time everyone said Phantom Menace has too much dialogue about treaties and regulations or whatever.
Meanwhile,
Like,
didn't
that's
they-
such a minor part of
Didn't
Phantom
think
Menace.
Kara mentioned that it was like one scene?
It's one.
That was like a
Yeah.
couple minutes
There's
long.
like
Yeah.
two scenes, and maybe 3 at a push.
But it's funny because I actually rewatched this last week with my cousin. We watched all the Star Wars films, and it's literally come true now watching Phantom Menace because the main thing in the Senate is tariffs on outlying star systems. We've literally seen this happen in real life.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
This is like, wow, life really does imitate art. We have.
Yeah, and it's funny because at the time George Lucas created the Phantom Menace based on the Bush administration for the Iraq War, the war on terror.
Yeah.
And we're literally seeing the repeat now, 20 years later.
Can I also ask on that one? Where did you get the idea for Queen Amidala? That outfit is ridiculous still.
Yeah, the costume design was just going nuts that day.
Yeah, there was
Just wanted his paycheck.
just like do all of it.
If
Yeah.
I'm being honest, I thought Phantom Menace was just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Not even because of the trade deals and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
just thought
the example that I wanted to bring up though was the fact that there was a very similar criticism at the time. People don't bring up that criticism anymore. So maybe Shield Hero, maybe Slime season 3 will get a bit more
maybe.
love
Yeah.
down the line. I mean, season 4's been confirmed, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
pretty sure it has.
Yeah, I'll double check that. But
Isn't Slime also supposed to get a new film coming soon?
I haven't seen any news on that. No, I know the mangas. I think the light novel's going to be ending soon.
I'm glad it's. People always worry when things get an ending. I mean, the only time I've really been worried about an ending. Oh, and the person who gave the first season 4 out of 10, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
First season is fantastic.
that's where they're going back up to reviews. The complete dichotomy of one's a 4 out of 10, the other one's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Let's see. Related anime. Here we go. OVA coming. The next thing's a movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's
what
weird.
I
Is
Okay.
there any information on when we're getting more fucking Overlord?
We're getting a movie.
Yeah.
Movie's
Oh,
coming
When's that?
next year. I
Yeah,
believe.
next year. I think it's like Golden something or other.
But yeah, no, the light novel's still going on. I would really hope that Slime. But the one I'm worried about because it's ending very abruptly in a couple of weeks is My Dress Up Darling. I was like, why is this ending? It did not give any indication we were coming to an end.
And it's apparently having a big time skip in it.
Yeah,
To justify it.
I've read that as well. There is going to be a massive time skip.
That's
Okay.
annoying.
Yeah, so it's a traditional story, then all of a sudden, time jump, then end.
Mm.
So,
I think it's partly so they can avoid the Comic-Con communique situation. Because I finished the Comic-Con communique manga.
I did as well.
I'm gonna be honest, the last 100 chapters are entirely unnecessary.
That would have benefited from a time skip as well to see what would happen later.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one that I feel like Mission Yozakura Family. I would say is one I didn't get why that wasn't really hyped.
well, I think the time is because it was locked in the Disney Vault.
Spy and also
Yeah, also Spy Family. wasn't
Spy
it?
Family came out and that probably took a lot of the fun out. And I will admit, as much as I like Yozakura Family, Spy Family is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
One out.
that was very hyped at the time. Will we say yes we are on the hype with that one, or we can't quite get the level of hype it's got?
At the time I said I was there, but looking back, I just like Now, the first half is when most of the stuff happens.
Yeah.
The second half of the season is mostly just.
Oh, wait till we get to the
stuff.
next season. There's a fantastic arc coming up.
Feels like maybe a bit like My Hero Academia in a way. In that, like,
I'll translate for people who don't speak
Sorry.
yawn. It feels like it feels very much like My Hero Academia in a certain way. Carry on.
like initial first impressions of the show are like really favourable, and just over time it's just the same sort of stuff maybe.
I want to stress. I think it's going to come back with season 3 because again, there's a really good arc coming in season 3.
I mean, I think it kind of came back with the ending of season 2 because that arc on the cruise ship was really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it finally gave yours something to do.
For once.
Finally.
I mean, I'd read that ahead of time, so I actually knew that was coming. So I was like, oh, thank God, yours got something to do.
Yeah, because otherwise it's mostly just been Anya at school.
Which I mean, it's rather telling that Anya got the first video game,
Yeah.
which was the Animal Crossing clone.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
Did you end up reviewing that in the end?
I didn't review. I played a little bit of it, but I didn't
Yeah.
play enough of it to review it.
Mm.
But it was fine.
Yeah.
But it's like it's on a system of Animal Crossing. Just play that.
Yeah, literally.
I'm trying to think of one where I don't get why this didn't get the hype.
For me, a recent one, probably Windbreaker.
Oh,
Because
I-
I didn't see that much hype for that one.
Back for season 2 in a couple of weeks.
I'm
Yeah.
so fucking excited. I love Windbreaker so much.
I would say as well, I don't get why this didn't get that. I think the Disney Vault stopped this one, Summer Wars. I think it's one of the.
No, a lot of people were really hyping that one up when it came out.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's got the level of hype that it should have had. I think it should have been one of those.
It got insane. Trust me, it got insane levels of
I
hype.
think it got it at the time. I think it got it at the time because it was a bit of a hidden gem before it released, and it earned, but it then sort of died off afterwards. Astra Lost in Space.
Yeah, because that show at the time only me and you were really hyped about.
But at the same time as well, it did get some hype.
I
But
liked it. It didn't get hype.
put it this way: when you know the Annie Trending Awards, that were it was them. It beat Vinland Saga for best of summer that year. Now, when they went to do the actual vote for Anime of the Year, it was down to those two again. But Vinland Saga won when the vote was repeated. So people were more hyped for Vinland Saga after both
Actually, that's
shows
what
ended.
Vinland Saga season 2.
No, that lives up to the hype. That's fantastic.
No, I thought. No, I was talking about ones that people didn't get as much hype for.
Yeah, people died off on that one. I was like, what the hell are you on? This is amazing.
Season 2 of Vinland Saga was fucking fantastic.
I think for most people it's just too slow paced.
Oh.
That's the idea of it, though. It needs a slow pace.
Which is why we all enjoyed
After
it.
the prologue. That's some of the best character writing I've ever seen in anime.
God, I know you can criticise stuff for being slow paced, and there is several reasons why you could do it, but sometimes I do wonder with some people, do you just want everything at once? It feels like this
Action.
It's like I was like, no wonder TikTok got big.
Literally.
We've all got our attention spans have just gone fucking awful.
In that case, I'm surprised Shangri-La Frontier isn't as hyped.
Yes, I agree with you on that one.
Because the season it came out the same season as Apothecary Diaries of Free Ren, but I think it should have been pretty high up there.
And I'm noticing that's happening right now with Zenshu. Not many people are talking about that one.
I do see a lot of people talking about that one. It's either that one or Medalist. I see people praising.
Oh, that shit! I forgot I'm supposed to watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched Medalist?
No.
Do it! Oh my god, it is so good.
Right, I know I've got what my homework is now. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
put Bleach a bit on hold to catch up a
Okay,
bit.
you're fine.
I'm doing like 2 episodes a weekend now.
That's completely valid.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cal.
So I'm only a few episodes into Valiant.
I no longer have to complain.
Hey.
So I will get up to date by the time we do another thing. But what's okay? So I feel like we might have exhausted this topic.
Yeah.
But okay, here's the thing. Okay, but I want to do one last thing. Excluding our own ones, who do we think put up the best argument for a show not deserving the hype it got? Because I'm going to go with.
I say Reese.
You're going to go for Reese for your pick?
I'm going to go Elliot.
Oh, really?
And because you picked a show that you picked a show he likes, you must have done
Yeah.
pretty well there.
Okay.
Ren, I want you to go next.
I've got to agree with you, Elliot, as well. Let's go with you, Reese, and say Elliot had the best argument.
Oh, damn. People actually kind of yeah. Sick.
If I go by who I agreed with the most, it would be Ren.
Yeah.
But if I go by who made the best argument, I go with Elliot.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because as much as because
And
he
here's
actually
your
got
extra wild card.
because he actually got to make me reconsider a show I really proper like.
Yeah,
Yes.
But I want to stress, he's not changed my opinion on it.
Yeah, I'm
Same,
not
yeah.
expecting you to. I'm just.
But
saying
I think he made a
it's
very good argument for
Yeah.
it.
Same.
I always so unlike anime fights, it's a very respectable debate.
Yay! Everybody, clap
Your hands. So speaking of which, we're back next month with
No,
no,
this
End
month.
of this month.
2 weeks. Sorry, we took a little bit of
2
time off.
weeks.
We're back
Yeah.
in. Well, no, it's
3
actually
weeks,
going to be
right?
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3
yes.
weeks. Yeah, we had to take February off because someone wanted to go to Pokemon tournament.
And it was a combination of that and
Priorities.
but I stepped. No, hang on. We were fine on that one. Never mind. Anyway, so we're back on March the 28th. We'll have our best of winter, which I think is going to be a very interesting one because
This is going to be a tough one. There's a lot of really good. There's a lot of really good.
Yeah,
shit.
surprised me.
Yeah.
I was expecting this to be a bit of a down season, but
Yeah.
wow, it surprised
I mean,
me.
come on. It has Apothecary Diaries and 100 Girlfriends coming back. It's not all going to be a down season.
Thanks, Elliot. The OP's back. The new Apothecary Dies OP is back in my head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. Still think the first OP is best.
No, same.
So good.
It is brilliant.
Yeah, but I think the second one's more catchy.
Nah, the first one. I think the first one's more catchy.
Yeah.
Like over a year later, I still find myself humming it on occasion.
So I'm going to stress now. I think that it's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 3 weeks. Also, though, do tune in for Professional next week because we're going to have a hell of a Monster Hunter talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially now I've completely finished it after like 50 hours.
Now.
Yeah, so all story content, all side
How did
content.
you do that?
I didn't sleep for like 1 day whole straight.
I was going to say.
I just marathoned it for like 48 hours.
I'm not able to. I'm not able to talk about that because I made a mistake of buying the PC version.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. But,
There have been a few hot fixes now. They just announced one today.
Okay.
so it might actually be in a playable state at this
Yeah.
point.
I'll see what the internet says.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye, folks.
Bye.